Welcome to Multiple Streams by Any Means, where our podcast focuses on showing our culture how to get to the bag, while also giving flowers to those that are actually getting to the bag. I'm your host, Bam, and today, man, we got someone special, man. We call him the hip-hop financial advisor, man. He's doing it strictly for the culture. He's author of many books, man. One of his books is, so his podcast is called Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. That's number one. And he's wrote many different books, author of Making Sense of Kanye, What the FICO, From the Block to the Bank, and Absence is Your Birthright. Today, man, we got the hip hop financial mogul, Ash motherfucking Cash.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, man?
My guy. That's a good word.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir.
Been a long time coming, man.
Yes,
I appreciate you, for the link, man, and I love what you do, man, and we gonna put the people on game today, man.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, so for starters, man, first off, man, Ash Cash, where you from, man?
I am, from the home of the hustlers, man, Harlem, NYC, you know what I'm saying? St. Nicholas Projects, brother.
St. Nicholas Projects.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So how long you been in Georgia?
So I moved down ATL in 2018. So been here about 6 years. And I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I love the South. You know what I'm saying? I love Atlanta. I love the energy here. I love you get money here. You know what I'm trying to say? So the money's definitely here.
And you can stretch the money as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons why we moved down here. I've been an entrepreneur all my life.
Oh yeah.
Did corporate America for a little bit.
Okay.
And when I started writing books, I would travel a lot for work. I made good money, you know what I'm saying? But living in New York, you know what I mean, it just felt like, I felt I was rich, but I didn't feel like I was rich.
Yeah.
And so when we moved down here, it was, man, like the house that we had in New York, we were able to find a house here in Atlanta, triple the size for half the price. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So it wound up being a blessing.
All right, so what were you like growing up? I know you said entrepreneur, but were you into sports as well?
So I hooped. So I hooped growing up. It's weird because as somebody who grew up in the projects, I grew up in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the early 2000s where a lot of drug activity, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of street stuff happening. Yeah. And so I got in a lot of trouble, you know what I'm saying? Kicked out of school, 4 times actually. So I got kicked out 1st grade, 5th grade, 9th grade, all for fighting. I got expelled out of the 10th grade. I wasn't, I honestly, the 10th grade, I really didn't do nothing. But because I was in the wrong place, wrong time, I got expelled, had to do that over. That actually ruined my basketball career because I was still playing ball. But my final year in high school, I couldn't hoop. And so I wound up having to get a job. And I mean, honestly, it did ruin my basketball career, but it was a blessing in hindsight because me getting a job allowed me to get into banking, and then the rest is history. It
allowed you to reintroduce yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so speaking of hooping, man, that's pretty much how I know you, man. We be in that gym, and
yes, sir.
I see you hooping in the particular gym I see you do a lot of hooping,
yes,
man.
Sir. Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man.
Yes,
with some other high-level people, man. When I look at that court, man, I see a lot of different high-level balls. Y'all all balling outside of the court as well.
Yeah. We ball on the court and outside the court,
Ball harder outside of the court.
Right. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing because, it allows us to get this level of a normalcy, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because, and that's what I love about Atlanta, to be honest with you, is like a baby Harlem. Like in Harlem, we don't look at nobody as celebrities because we all think we celebrities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Atlanta is the same thing. There's so many people getting in here that you could blend in really nicely. You know what I'm saying? So you don't feel, you don't feel intimidated. You don't feel, like out of place. You know what I'm saying? You get to really be normal. A lot of times, because like you mentioned my podcast, Inside the Vault, like it's been seen 10 million times. You know what I'm saying? Like, audio downloaded 1.6 million times. So a lot of times, if I'm in certain places, people recognize me, and people treat me like a celebrity sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And so I love Atlanta because I could run smoothly without that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. All right, so man, so I know you said fist fights. Did you dibble and dabble into the street life as well, or just more so a couple fist fights here and there?
Yeah, I never sold drugs.
Okay.
Actually, how I got the name Ash Cash because like I held the stash. So I've always been an entrepreneur. So I packed bags at 8. I sold mixtapes and t-shirts, things of that nature. I would like fix bikes to make money or whatever. As we got older, a lot of the guys, I grew up with, started hustling, getting real money. And I was just the one, holding a stash. I play with guns, you know what I'm saying? I play with guns a little bit. Never shot nobody, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I play with some guns and
Yeah, in New York, they don't play about guns.
Yeah, and so luckily, I always say that's why I talk about my past a lot, because I don't want nobody to look at me and think that like I grew up in a 2-parent household, like my dad wasn't around, so I'm the youngest of 3. My mom was a single parent, so I don't want anybody to think that my success was like like the typical story. That's why I wrote From the Block to the Bank, because I want people who are from where we from to really just understand like, yo, like I'm a street guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I consider myself a street guy only because I was raised by the street, right? I saw my first dead body at 11 years old, you know what I'm saying? In the big park, shootouts, like we used to run to the shootouts, like I lived in a building where a lot of the hustlers came out of. And so I knew like the hustlers intimately, you know what I'm saying? So I seen a lot of violence early on in life. I've seen dead bodies before. And so I understand the street life. And because I had so much access to it early, I decided to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
And that saved me. You know what I'm saying?
So you pretty much like Ace before he met Lulu.
Yeah, facts. That's exactly that. Paid in full.
Yeah.
That's exactly that. Like I was definitely Ace. I was definitely the guy who was in the streets, right? I knew everybody. I knew the drug dealers and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And before I met Lulu, that's a fact. In fact, though, it's crazy that you say that because at 17, I was actually about to sell drugs, right? Because I'm at that age where it's time to get the girls and they care what you got, what you wearing and all that.
Yeah.
And literally it was my sister that saved my life because she wound up finding out. We had an argument and she gave me an ultimatum. She was like, yo, if you get a job, will you not hustle? And I said, yeah. And she was an assistant manager at Blockbuster Videos at the time. So she got me a job at Blockbuster, and the rest is history. I worked at Blockbuster as a cashier. Within like less than a year, I got promoted to assistant manager. One of the assistant managers came in one day and was saying that they was looking for tellers at Chase Bank. And so at 19 years old, I got my teller job at Chase, and then rest, you know what I'm saying? I did everything in banking, from teller to personal banker, private banker, branch manager. I was the CEO of a credit union at 31 years old. So I did everything in banking. And then once I retired from banking, I started writing books.
Okay, so you almost became a Blockbuster, but instead you ended up working for Blockbuster.
Facts. That's a fact. Big fact.
Damn, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Damn, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. So you start working at, all right, so it's kind of similar to myself. Like when I was like young, I collected cans. I was like 7, 8 years old, and I started selling candy, and I cut grass a little bit, whatever, so pretty similar, man. Pretty much just like hustling my whole life for the most part, man. So what's some big key factors you learned just coming up, throughout the transition as a young?
Yeah, I mean for me, one of the biggest things I learned was about hard work, right? I've always gravitated to the hustlers who was getting it for real. You know what I'm saying? Like who were really making a lot of money. And one of the things I learned was that there was the difference between the guys who were, hand in hand and the guys who were really getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like who were the bosses and things of that nature. There was a level of discipline. There was a level of cleanliness. There was a level of waking up before everybody, going to sleep late. Like all of those things actually transitioned for me in the corporate world because I noticed that, life is just meritocracy. Meaning that you get what you put out, you get what you put in. And so I also, I remember this story. I was selling mixtapes one time, and I would go to different barbershops or whatever and try to sell, my mixtapes. And I would tell the barber, or I would ask the barber, hey, can I leave these mixtapes here? And when you sell them,
consignment.
Consignment, we'll break it up. And I remember one time I had, I would just do that. Some people would say yes, some people would say no. I remember I had one of my OGs, I guess, with me. He got busy, so he had a reputation in the streets or whatever. And one day he just like, yo, they used to call me Masher. So he's like, yo, Masher, what you doing? So I'm like, I'm about to just go, make these CD runs real quick. So he's walking with me. I go into the barbershop. And then I walk out with the CDs. And so he like, yo, why you still got the CDs in your hand? I said, yo, Barber told me nah. He was like, yo, Masher, you gotta do more telling than asking. And I was like, what? So he walked into the barbershop and then he came out, he had no CDs. So in my head, I'm like, would you, you know what I mean? Like run that for me. He's like, yo, I went in there. I told him, I said, do more telling than asking. I told him, I said, yo, here's 10 CDs. I'm about to leave these here, sell them for, anybody walk up, sell them for $10. You know what I'm saying? And we'll break it down 60-40. I'll be back next week to see how much you sold. And he just left them and walked out.
Dropped the pack off.
Right? The funny thing about that though is when I became a banker, that's actually how I got successful in banking. I always remembered that lesson of do more telling than asking. And so when I started to sit with clients, I wouldn't say, hey, welcome to the bank. Do you want to open a bank account? Do you want a mortgage? Do you want a credit card? Do you want a savings account?
Yeah.
I would do more telling than asking. I would first ask questions and see, what their needs are. But once I got all the information, I would just do more telling. I would be like, I bet, Mr. So-and-so, based on what you told me, we're gonna open up a checking account for you. That's gonna come with a savings account. We're gonna, you pre-approved for a credit card, so you're gonna get this credit card. And 90% of the people say yes. 90% of the people's like, all right, let's do it. And so I realized this street lesson that I learned, which in the corporate world or the sales world, we called it assumptive selling.
I was gonna say that.
Was something that, you know what I'm saying, I learned from my OG, you know what I'm saying, who played the block, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, assume to sell. Nah, I got you. And then, like possession is key. So if you put the pack in their hand, they start signing, it's crazy. I opened up a bank at a credit union today, and they ain't do none of that stuff, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I damn near had to beg them to open up a business checking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They try and show me why I should get a savings. I'm like, let me see the checking.
Right.
Let me see this. Let me see that. What's up with the IRAs? Nah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So you said at 31, you was a CEO of a credit union.
Yeah, 31 years old. One of the youngest CEOs of a federally chartered bank.
CEO.
I was a CEO. Yeah, chief executive officer. I ran the whole credit union. It wasn't my credit union because what a lot of people don't realize is that when you are the CEO of a major corporation, if you will, you still got bosses though. You still report to people. There's a board of directors, and so I was the CEO, but I still had, I still reported to the board of directors who ultimately told me what to do. But it was a great experience. It was an opportunity for me to really, touch my people, because this credit union was actually in Long Island City, Queens, right across the street from Queensbridge, where Nas grew up. And if anybody knows Queensbridge has about 90 buildings. Like it's a public housing, but I want to say it's the biggest public housing in the world, or maybe in the country, but it got to be in the world because it got about 90 buildings. And so it allowed me to work, full circle, right? grew up in the projects, became a banker, but then was able to become a CEO of a credit union that served public housing. So it was a great story.
Damn, that's hard.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so how long did you hold that CEO position before you just transition?
Not long, man. I was a CEO for probably like 11 months, so shy of 1 year. One of the reasons why I decided to leave was because I realized that the type of help that I wanted to help the community, I couldn't do it just being stuck in one place.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, you know, we want to help, and we have it in our soul and our system to help. But you know the help that you want to do is going to require you to. Number one, I needed to make more money.
Yeah.
I needed to spread my information wider. And, you know, when you work for somebody, there's just a lot of restraints. There's a lot of constraints. And I felt like, you know, even though I was, you know, sitting at that top seat, there was still a lot of things that I really could not do. And ultimately I felt like it was education, right? Like I wanted to educate my people, because, I think it's the Bible that says people die or perish through lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really like, all right, how do I give them this knowledge? And the best way for me to do that was to write books, was to do radio and, you know, podcasts, things of that nature. So that's why I decided I needed to leave.
Okay, speaking of books, man, so right now, man, we're going to shout out my book, man, Navigate the Great, the GPS to Success and the Road to Riches. It's my first book I wrote, man, and I got to say, man, people like Ash Cash paved the way for young black authors like myself. So you can get this on Amazon.com, and I had a question for you. So explain to the people a benefit or two of going the credit union route versus a traditional bank.
Yeah, so what people don't understand is that the structure of banks, right? The way banks make money, and I'm talking traditional banks, is through charging you an interest rate, right?
Right.
And so what happens is they take money, right? People deposit money into the bank and they give you no interest, right? They give you like low interest, and then they take that same money and they lend it to people, and then they charge a high interest. What they pay and what they receive is how they get paid. And so because most traditional banks are owned by the shareholders, so if you own stock in the bank, it's owned by the shareholders, and so their goal is to make the most amount of money for the people who own the bank, which is the shareholders. So they don't really care about the customer, because again, or they don't care about the customer more than they care about the shareholders. So that's why they always trying to make the shareholders the most money. This is why, like in the 2008s, we saw like big deals about, you know, people getting charged too much for overdraft fees and things of that nature, because again, the bank is always trying to make the most money. With a credit union, the depositors owns the bank. Right. And so with a credit union, they serve the members, and the members are the owners of the bank. And so if you have an account with a credit union, you're not just a customer, you're actually an owner of the bank. Yeah. And because you're an owner of the bank, they have your best interest at heart. And so most of the times, credit unions will give you a lower interest rate when you borrow money, give you higher interest rate when you save money. It's, they're a little more lenient. They build relationship with you. And so they're a little more lenient as it relates to trying to take out credit cards and loans and things of that nature. And so a credit union, again, the difference between the both is really just the structure, the ownership structure of it. And both has their pros and cons, right? So I have credit union accounts, but I also have accounts, at major banks, right? Because when I travel, overseas, or when I need, certain, like bigger amount of loans, right? I may go to a traditional bank opposed to a credit union that might not necessarily give me, may not have the capital to lend me a large amount of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So in a nutshell, basically, like, from what I pretty much gathered from my experience, like credit unions are a little smaller, and it's easier to kind of get personal, as opposed to, like, you might, like, when something happens to your account, you get a call directly from somebody gave you money to
Facts.
it, as opposed to like a Bank of America. It's more like a corporate thing. But now that's what's up. I feel like the people definitely need to know that. So I was tuning into one of your podcast episodes you did with actually Ray Daniels. He was talking about things like vibrating at your highest frequency. Can you explain to people?
Ooh, that. So I'm a student of the law of attraction. And so I believe that everything that's in your life right now is a product of your vibration, is what you attract into your life. And so if you don't have the money you want, or you don't have the relationships you want, or if you don't have the material things that you want, it's only because you're not vibrating on the level of those things, right?
Right.
And so, being high vibration, low vibration is really about what you are tuning into. And so I'll give you, the easiest example of this is the radio station, right? Yeah. If you get in your car and you want to listen to hip hop, we're in Atlanta, so you might turn to V103. You might turn to Streets, you might turn to Hot, right? And when you turn to those channels, you're going to hear hip hop.
Yeah.
If at any moment you want to listen to country music, then you got to turn to the country station.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to listen to country music on the hip hop station.
Yeah.
And so that's really vibration, right? Everything is happening simultaneously though.
Yeah.
Right. And so the good, the bad, the ugly, like every single situation that you could think of is happening simultaneously. It's up to you to turn the channel on that frequency in order to experience it. So as we speak, there are somebody right now is drugged out and living in poverty.
Yeah.
There's also in the same breath, there's somebody who's a multi-millionaire getting to it.
Right.
In the same breath, there's somebody who is about to be a millionaire trying to figure it out. In the same breath, there's a billionaire, right? There's all of these different things. There's a poor person, there's a low income person, there's a middle class person, there's a rich person, there's an ultra rich person. Like all of these experiences are happening at the same time. And if you want to change, right? If you say, yo, I'm tired of being poor, all you got to do is tap into the frequency of rich, tap into the frequency of a billionaire, tap into the frequency of what you desire. And when you tap into that frequency, that's how you start experiencing the things that are in that frequency.
Absolutely. I could not have explained it better than that.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So another cool topic you guys were talking about is how lyrics can birth millionaires.
1000%.
Yeah, man. So I kind of explain to the people what you meant by that. We just kind of go back and forth.
Yeah. So for me, I'm a big fan of artists that talk their shit.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all I can do.
And the reason why is because I'm able to channel what they're saying into whatever's going on in my life, right?
Yeah.
And so when you think about words, right? Words have power. When you go to school and they tell you to do what with words, they tell you to spell. Yeah. Right? So that's a double entendre. Words are spells, right? It'll put you in a trance, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a spelling bee. It's a spell.
Yeah.
And what is a spell? A spell is something that could put you in a trance.
Yeah.
And so that's why when you listen to music and people are repeating and listening things over and over again. So let me tell you. So in my first book, Mind Right, Money Right, I talk about the 3 types of minds, right? So you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind, and you have a super subconscious mind. Okay. Your super subconscious mind is what we like to call our gut feeling. It is our intuition. It is what the divine downloads, right? Like when you say, yo, I'm listening to God and God spoke to me. God only speaks to you through your super subconscious, and so that's through your gut feeling. That's through through energy, right? Like through silence. That's your super subconscious. subconscious. Your super subconscious knows everything, right? It sees it all, it knows it all. So sometimes when you look at somebody, you like, yo, it's something about that person that I ain't feeling. That's the super subconscious talking to you. Then you got your conscious mind, right? So like everybody watching this right now, in your conscious mind, you listening to what I'm saying, and you're making a decision. Oh, I like what he's saying, or I don't like what he's saying. That sounds true. That doesn't sound. That's all your conscious mind. Your super subconscious mind is the mind that is fed information, and based on this information, it seeps into your subconscious, right? So think about like when you listen to music. If you're listening to something over and over and over again, telling you something, it's seeping into your subconscious mind, and now you start to believe this thing, and that's how you make decisions on the conscious realm, right? And so for me, I only listen to lyrics where people are saying positive stuff, right? And so when I started listening to hip hop, I was about 8 years old. One of my first lyrics that I memorized was Special Ed. I got it made, right? And I got it made, right? Like one of the verses, he said, "I'm talented, yes, I'm gifted, never boosted, never shoplifted. I got the cash, the money ain't nothing. Make $1 million every record that I cut, and my name is Special Ed, and I'm a super duper star. Every other month I get a brand new car. Got 20, that's plenty, and I still want more. Got a lot of Honda scooters, got 74. I got the rich," right? So he's saying the I. Anytime he said I, and I'm repeating it, I'm giving power to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? And so I listen to Jay-Z, I listen to Young Jeezy, I listen to T.I., I listen to when they're saying, you know, like I'm the man, like I do this, I'm a multi-millionaire. One of my most favorite songs is from Jay-Z, You Don't Know, right? That's another difference that's between me and them. I smarten up, open the market up, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4, in just 4 years, 80 million more. Add that number up with the one that's right. And so I'm saying all these things, and eventually I was able to attract millions of dollars to myself. And so I believe that, everything, your life right now, is based on what you feed your subconscious, and what you feed your subconscious is what comes out on a conscious realm, and that decides what type of life you live.
Yeah, so like right before we, I don't know if you were paying attention, man, but right before we cranked the interview up, I had the Jeezy Hypnotize. He like, hypnotize, you were hypnotized. Now I command you niggas to get money. You know what I'm saying? So that's one I listen to just to kind of get in my mode, as well, man. But nah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, bro. Like, words are very, very powerful, man. So that's one of the reasons why it kind of took me a little while to get into Gucci, man. Cause he talked a little too much about rapping. I'm like, I can't do that, man. But you got to balance though. Right,
but you got to think about that, right? So like, there's certain songs that I believe are destructive. Right. So when you think about, and this is not no shot to any rappers. I mean, it is. I mean, it just is what it is. When you're listening to a song and all they talk about is popping pills, you know, Molly, Percocet, and then you look and now you got young, like when I came up, we never glorified the drug user. The drug, like you being a drug user wasn't cool. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like we representing the hustler. We represent the guy who was getting money, but not the person that was the actual drug user. But now I ain't gonna say 90% because I don't actually listen to it, so I don't know what percentage of the music talks about. You know what I'm saying? Like drug drug taking, but that's why I'm very conscious about the type of songs that I listen to, right? So I'll give you a prime example. I think it's 2 Chainz that sings Mask Off, right?
No, it's
that's Future, right? So all right, so it's Future, right? So Future is Mask Off. The whole thing is mesmerizing you. Molly Percocet. So now it's in your head over and over and over again. I'm like, yo, why are you like it's over and over? But think about there's a song, I think it's 2 Chainz now, right? 2 Chainz and Drake. I got everything, right? To me, that's an affirmation, right? I got everything. I got everything.
Yeah.
I cannot complain. I don't even know how much I really made. I forgot. It's a lot. F that. Right?
Yeah.
I came up. That's all me. Right? So if I sung that all the time, I'm telling myself, man, I got everything. I got everything.
Everything.
I cannot complain. I don't even know how much I make so much money. I don't even know how much I made. I forgot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I love it.
So this is to tell people, be conscious about what you're feeding into your subconscious. And as you're, again, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying throw the whole rapper away.
No. But
Just pick and choose. Be very careful what you're listening to over and over again.
Yeah. Nah, so speaking of, man, I downloaded the track Living in Abundance featuring Ash Cash.
Yes, sir.
You said a couple things, man, that I liked in the song. It was a few things, but two I'm gonna highlight is my overnight success took years to manifest. You know, so yeah, man, talk to him about that.
My overnight success took years to manifest. So for me, now it's like Amazon Prime, right? So for me, what I was trying to say is a lot of times people see your success and they be like, yo, that was an overnight success. They be like, yo, he just came out of nowhere, right? And so I'm saying, yo, my overnight success took years to manifest. It took years of work. It took years of training. It took years of discipline. It took years of grinding. It took years of getting my mind right. It took years, right? But now that I manifested it, now it's like Amazon Prime. Now, anytime I want something, all I gotta do is place the order. And I know it's coming. I know it's gonna be here. And so that was that line, really just letting people know that, you know, in order to be successful, it's gonna take you gotta put in the work. It's gonna take some time, but once you finally get to that level, like right now, bro, there is literally nothing I can't have. There's no experience I can't have. There's nothing on this planet. If I want it, I am such a master manifester that if I want something, all I gotta do is put my mind to it, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's gonna be mine.
Yeah, it's kind of like myself, man. Like people will see me now and you know, they'll see the money or like even like the fitness journey, but I've been working out since I was like 9, 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I read Richest Man in Babylon. I'm 11 years old. I remember being 12 years old with $1,200 in my checking account. Because I wasn't spending no money. I was just selling candy, and I report to my credit union every weekend.
Yes, sir.
And so, you know, people will see like success and all that type of stuff, and they'll think it's overnight. Like sometimes people like, I might have started posting my gym content a couple years ago. I might join a new gym and motherfucker might say, oh, I see I've been right since, bro, I've been the same shit since I was like in middle school.
Right.
But it's like, you know, it take years, you know, for the overnight success. You know what I'm trying to say, man.
Right, absolutely. And again, I think the other thing is that a lot of people don't see that work. Right? They might see a picture of you on Instagram and not understand that you like religiously at the gym. You get what I'm saying? Like even myself, like I recently released 50 pounds, right? Because, you know, part of I used to hoop. I tore my Achilles, and when I tore my Achilles, I was you know, like sitting down for a long time. So I gained a lot of weight. And the moment I said, you know what, like I'm done with this, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to focus on my health. Like I'm in the gym 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm hooping 3 days. I got a trainer, you know, 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like religiously in the gym working out. And so when somebody sees me and be like, man, you look good, look like you're losing a lot of weight, it ain't because I like manifestation. That's the other piece of it. Manifestation ain't like, yo, I'm gonna meditate and it's just gonna happen. Yo, it's action though. You gotta put action behind it. Like you just can't just wish it, right? You gotta be, do, and then you have. And if you don't do, then it's not gonna happen.
Action speak louder than words, man.
Facts.
Yeah. Another thing that you said, man, is I dare you to beg for something that's already yours. Now, that shit was deep, dog.
Yeah,
Explain to him, man.
Yes, sir. You know, I have, you know, the song is Living in Abundance. And I have this phrase that I say that abundance is your birthright. And what abundance is your birthright means is that everything that you desire is waiting for you. Right? It's already yours. It's not something that you got to work hard for. It's not something you got to sacrifice for. It's not something that you got to beg and steal for. Like, it's already yours. So I dare you to beg for something that's already yours. I dare you to act like, whatever your higher power is, you know what I'm saying? Like the one God, I dare you to act like God is not gonna provide you with everything that you desire. And so that is me really letting people know that, at the end of the day, you already got what, you have everything you need, right? I got everything. I got everything. Right? Hey, but you just gotta, recognize that. You just got to allow it. And when you allow it, right, you go with the flow. Everything that you desire is easy. So stop begging, stop stealing, stop stabbing people in their back, stop thinking that you gotta, you finesse people into your blessing. You can't finesse nobody into your blessing because your blessing is already there. In fact, the reason why you ain't got your blessing is because you looking over here. You looking at that man blessing when your blessing is right under your nose and you didn't even realize it.
Right. It's deep, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so look, what was the first book you wrote?
First book was Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom. I wrote that in 2009. One of the reasons I wrote the book was because at the time, we only had Susie Orman and Dave Ramsey who were teaching about finance. I looked at them and I loved the work that they were doing, but they didn't look like me. Right. And so for me, I said, where are the people that could relate with me? Where are the people that look like me? Where are the people that talk like me who are teaching about finance? And because I didn't see them, I decided to be the change that I wanted to see. And so when I wrote Mind Right, Money Right, I actually call it the hip hop version of Think and Grow Rich, because Think and Grow Rich has been the first, money book that I read, which really changed the trajectory of my life. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the funny thing about it is when you think about think and grow rich, right? You got to get your mind right first in order to get your money right. And that's the reason that's the name of my book.
Chapter 1, Think and Grow Lit.
Yeah, I see that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you a copy,
Appreciate that, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so when you think about it, Mind Right, Money Right is the same as Think and Grow Rich. It's just my version of it. So that was the first book that I actually wanna write in.
All right, so look, a lot of us don't read, but a lot of us do read.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand it's not impossible to write a book. Yeah. So kind of explain to them your process, a simple explanation of your process when it comes down to writing your books.
Yeah. So especially now because we have access to apps like ChatGPT and all the different AI stuff. Writing a book is easier than ever before. Right. And so I have a 5-step process that I tell anybody who wanna write a book. I call it SHINE, SHINE. SHINE, the S in SHINE is start with the end in mind, right? And so if you start with the end in mind, you ask yourself, I wanna write this book. When somebody takes this book away, what is it that they're gonna learn from it? And so you start with the end in mind. You say the end is, I want everybody to be able to navigate their life. I want them to navigate their life in order to be great. Yeah. So that's the end in mind. So number 2, I need you to highlight the steps. Right? I need you to highlight the steps. So now that you've identified, you start with the end. So what are the steps that need to be taken? Right? What are the steps that need to be taken in order for you to so for somebody to reach the level that you want them to reach? Number 3, after you've highlight the steps, identify which artificial intelligence you want to use. Right. And so I'm not even going to tell you to write anything yet. I'm going to say identify which AI you want to use, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Claude 2, whether it's Gemini. And then once you identify it, you have to really be able to say, hey, I'm writing this book on XYZ, and this is what I want to write it about. Please help me refine this outline. Right. And so the ChatGPT is going to give you the outline. Number 4, I want you to narrate narrate your book.
Yeah.
Right. And so I like to, say, speak your book into existence. And so now that you have this outline,
Right.
there's an app called Otter, Otter.
Yep, I use
and
that
what
too.
Otter does is when you say something,
Yep.
Otter takes what you say and it puts it into text for you.
Right.
And so now I want you to narrate. Narrate just means to speak it, right? Narrate
Yep.
your book. And so now that you have this outline, open up Otter and pretend as if you're teaching your content to somebody.
Right.
Right. And so when you do that, what Otter's going to do is it's going to give you all of the transcript and all that stuff that you've written. You take that transcript and now you put it back into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini and ask it to edit it for you. Right. And so now it's gonna edit it for you. You can ask it to expand it. It'll do all of that stuff. And then lastly, step number 5 is to enlist a team, right? Because now that you have the actual manuscript done, now you need a graphic designer. You need somebody to help you distribute the book. Now you need, marketing and promotion. And so you enlist a team, right? So now start with the end of the line, highlight the steps that's going to take to get there. I is identify, what AI you're going to use. N is narrate your voice, and then E, or narrate your story, and then E is enlist your team. Simple. Anybody can do this. If you're watching right now, anybody could do this. The fastest I've written a book is 5 days.
Okay.
From beginning to end, like writing the book, getting it designed, publishing, all of that took me 5 days. So anybody can do it.
Absolutely, yeah. And, pretty much, we didn't create. I did create the acronym or follow the acronym specifically, but yeah, that's pretty much how I put mine together. I definitely use Otter. I didn't really use a lot of AI software at the time, but.
Yeah.
But now I know how to take advantage of those, so the process will be easier. And yeah, it took me about 3 months. Shout out to my friend Andrea Kitten. Mm-hmm. She helped me. She helped coach me through the whole process, as far as even getting it published on Amazon. Make sure you guys picked it up on Amazon. And I wanted to ask you, all right, so what was the most recent book that you wrote that's published?
Yeah, so my most recent book is The Illmatic Investor.
Okay. Illmatic Investor.
The Illmatic Investor. So Nas, you know what I'm saying, got a rep for the town. So in April, it was Nas's 30th anniversary of Illmatic.
Okay.
And it's an album that I love, that is a classic album. But one of the reasons why I wanted to write this book is because Nas has transitioned from being just a rapper to a $1 billion investor.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
If you Google his net worth, for some reason it only says 70 million, but there's no way he's worth 70 million, because him and a partner started what's called the Queensbridge Venture Fund, and they had $2 billion exits already. Right. Yeah. And so I already know, he just a New York cat that wants to keep his, business to himself. He don't want to bring attention to him. But the truth of the matter is that, he's done a lot from the investors world. He was one of the first investors in Ring. So a lot of people, have the Ring doorbells right now. He was the first investor in that. Yeah. And so he invested in a lot of companies. And so I wanted to talk about how can I take Nas's lyrics from Illmatic and really teach a lesson about investing to become an investor. And that's what the Illmatic Investor is. It's a great book that I really, love, not because I wrote it, but because of the innovative way that I was able to intertwine hip hop and finance, and then create what I like to call hip hoponomics. So I do hip hoponomics, and that's just the genre of teaching finance through hip hop.
Right. No, that's what's up, man. Sometimes those networks be kind of off. Like they might say 50 worth 20 million, or they might say T.I. worth 20 million. The man got apartment complex alone that's worth about 25 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, now that's what's up, man. So, Out of all your babies, anyone that you're pushing right now that you want them to go grab right now?
Yeah, I mean, I call it the Holy Trinity. I would tell everybody, make sure you go get the Wake Up Call, Financial Lessons Learned from 444, which is based on Jay-Z's album. Then you should also get Hustlenomics, which is a business book it teaches you about business using the lyrics of the late great Nipsey Hussle. And then lastly, I would say Hustlenomics, Illmatic Investor, which is what I just talked about, the investment book based on Nas. So you got the Wake Up Call, Hustlenomics, and then also Illmatic Investor.
Okay, so what is the six-figure author blueprint?
So six-figure author blueprint was really, a lot of times people teach theory, right? They teach what they see, but they've never really done it before.
Yeah.
So for me, because I've been an author since 2009, I've sold over 250,000 books, all independently. I've generated millions of dollars from my books and online programs. And so at the time that I created the six-figure author blueprint, I wanted to teach people the stuff that I did already, right? I wanted to teach people, how do you write a book, but allow that book to open the doors for other streams of income, right? And so I know this show is about multiple streams of income. How do you do that through books? And so for me, I call it the 4 E's. You should have an entry-level product or service. You should have an examination-level product or service. You should have an elastic-level product or service, and you should have an exclusive-level product or service. Your entry-level product or service is your book, right? It's the thing that's going to be free or low cost that people get in order to get acquainted with you. After they buy your book, then there should be some type of course or program that people could invest in to get more information and learn more about what you have to offer. Then you should provide resources, and so elastic means you keep coming back. So think about a subscription or continuity program like Netflix, where you pay Netflix over and over and over again for access to movies. Well, you should create your version of Netflix where somebody has access to your information or access to your knowledge, and they pay you over and over and over again, and that's elastic.
Right.
And then if you want to, somebody want to work with you one-on-one or work with you in a smaller setting, then you do then you're able to offer an exclusive program where people could pay you anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 in order for you to work with them exclusively. And so the six-figure author blueprint, I actually break down 15 different streams of income that you can create just from one book. And it goes through this whole process of how to do it step by step, and giving you ways to market, getting ways to gain attention. So it's my way of teaching people how to build really a 7-figure business, but I started at 6 figures because some people are intimidated by 7 figures.
No, I got you. And if you can help somebody make 6 figures, they can help themselves make 7 figures.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Okay, so 6-figure blueprint, man. I need to tap into that, man.
1,000%.
I'm gonna hit that link in your bio, man.
Especially because you got a book.
Got a damn book.
You know what I'm saying? And so really, once you and I love this, right? The GPS for roads to riches. Navigate the great. And so now, you know what I'm saying? You should have maybe like the GPS Academy. You know what I'm saying? And GPS Academy, it could stand for, greatness, purpose, success. Or something, you know what I'm saying? Greatness, purpose, success Academy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so now,
That's lit, dog.
You create the courses, you create the membership, you create the exclusiveness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's easy. That's easily how, and you use the book to really promote everything else you got going on.
It's your mixtape.
Exactly.
It's your mixtape,
Exactly.
man. Just like when you go into the barbershop, you tell them, man, I'm gonna leave you with this 10.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's your mixtape,
Facts.
man. All right, so you got a big following, man.
Yeah.
Give some tips on how to grow a massive following.
Yeah. So number one, I would say, you got to be comfortable being yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people try to pretend and be somebody else.
Yeah.
And your audience they could tell. Right. They could tell when you're not authentically being yourself. So I say, number one, you got to be authentically you. Number two, you gotta give value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, people, and even if that value is entertainment, right? Like even if somebody says, yo, man, it's like, I love going to this page because this page teaches me something. Or I love going to his page because, he's funny. Or I love going to his page because fill in the blank. Like you got to give value. You can't just be posting pictures of what you're doing all day.
Being cute.
And thinking that people are going to follow you. You know what I'm saying? Even the video vixens, like that's value to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody who's trying to like look at, bodies, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna find it entertaining, which is why they probably have a large following.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure that you are bringing value. So number one, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be authentic. Number two, you gotta bring value. And the last thing I would say that people don't do is you gotta be consistent.
I thought it was gonna be the first one you said.
You know what I'm saying?
But they go hand in hand. They all go hand
for
in hand.
sure. Because the thing is though, if you're consistent and you're not authentic, it ain't gonna work. If you're consistent and you don't bring value, it ain't gonna work. I know people that post on Instagram every single day and don't have a following. I know people that post, that are pretending to be somebody else and they post every day and they don't have a following. So the authenticity has to come first.
Yeah.
The giving the value has to come second, and then you got to be consistently being authentic and giving value. And when you do that, you will attract your tribe. People will follow you, but then they'll also, if you start having products or services, they're going to buy those products and services. But you have to first and foremost have those two ingredients first.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's dope, man. When people watch Inside the Vault,
yeah.
What type of value do you feel like you provide? I know, but just for the people.
Yeah, so I call Inside the Vault the greatest money mindset show on the planet. And so number one, I only bring on guests that have a story, right? Who have been through some things already, and you have had to have made 6 or 7 figures, right? So I'm not bringing in anybody who has not have a level of wealth, because I'm not using the platform to just highlight people and give you publicity. I'm using the platform to make sure that you're giving tangible things and helping people to reach the level of success that they want to reach. And so I also say that Inside the Vault help everyday people become millionaires. And so any episode, I got over 200 episodes. Any episode that you watch, you're going to be able to immediately start to apply, what people are teaching in order to change your life. Like, I shout out to my brother Jay White. My brother Jay White teaches on government contracting, right?
Yeah, dope.
I've had people come to me and say, yo, I watched your episode with Jay White and I just got a $50,000, government contract.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody will watch my episode with Storm Leroy and be like, yo, I just bought my first property. I just got a trust watching Storm Leroy, or, you know what I'm saying? So all these different people that I have on there, it really gives you the blueprint to success based on what that person has done in their personal life.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, like, just similar to my platform, man, is the people look like us.
Absolutely.
We look like you. So It's like at the end of the day, if we can do it, you can do it too. And most of the people that I interview have some type of way that they teach the culture. Yeah. Like if you just somebody out there getting money, but you don't really care to share any secrets, then I'm not really interested in those type of people. I'm looking for people that want to spread the wealth of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And you also just kind of connect the dots between other individuals worth tapping into for the most part. Yeah. So look, man, talk to them about the abundance community.
Man, so the abundance community for me is, I call it financial spirituality, right?
Right.
And what I mean by that is there was a time in my life that I only focused on money. And when I was only focusing on money and made a lot of money, it made me feel empty inside, because I felt like I wasn't using that money for the right purpose. I was using it to buy things. I was using it to as a status symbol. And so what I realized was I wanted to be able to blend, again, because abundance is your birthright, I wanted to blend finance with spirituality. And so the abundance community is a community that teaches you that you're a child of God, right? I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Jewish. if you believe that there is one God, and that you're made in the image and likeness of God, and that God is infinite possibilities, then you too are infinite possibilities. And I wanted to create a space where people are tapping into ancient scriptures, are tapping into the law of attraction in order to change their mindset to actually attract abundance in real time, right? I don't want you to suffer on earth and then wait till you die to try to get abundance, right? Because on earth as it is in heaven, meaning that while you're here, you should be living your best life.
Right.
And so the abundance community is about teaching you how to live your best life.
That's dope. See, I know y'all need to tap into the abundance community, man. We all need to be out here living abundantly. I was having this conversation with a family member of mine earlier, and I felt like he might have felt like I was challenging him, because I was basically saying, okay, if you're in this particular profession, what do you and the top guys in your profession have in common? So I started getting a bunch of excuses and things of that nature. I'm like, look, man, I'm not here for that, man.
Right.
I'm winning, man.
Right.
I want to look to my left and my right and see more winners.
Right.
I don't mind if I meet day twos, but you my day one, man. You technically, you my family, man. So it's like, I'm not asking you this to bust your balls.
Yeah.
I'm asking you this because I want to see what we need to do for you to become the top in your profession.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With no excuses. You know what I'm saying? As far as having this or that, money and a good network and a good mindset takes away a lot of those excuses.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have no excuses, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, so look, you said earlier how you got your name. So who was the first person that called you Ash Cash?
Man, I remember one of my high school friends, Danielle. I don't even know what she's doing right now. But I remember, she was one of the first people to call me that. In fact, there was, Cash Money was out at the time. That's before they like blew up, though. They were like more like underground.
Yep.
And I remember she used to call me Ash Cash Money. She used to be like, Ash Cash Money. And then I didn't know Cash Money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then so I just kind of ran with it. In fact, like I'm aging myself, but a lot of people don't even know what AOL is. But before Instagram, before, you know what I'm saying? Like AOL, America Online, they had a chat and you had to have a screen name.
Yeah.
And so because she kept calling me Ash Cash Money, that was my first screen name. My first screen name was Ash Cash Money, AOL joint. And then eventually,
the dial-up.
You know what I'm saying? A dial-up. But eventually, Ash Cash Money was just too long. So people just started calling me Ash Cash, and then it just stuck. It just stuck with me.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say something like you went from ashy to cashy.
Nah. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? I've been getting.
You was never ashy.
Nah, I was never ashy. I've been getting money. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting money since '88. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, man. So you moved out here with your wife?
Yeah, my wife and 2 kids. So I'm married. I've been with my wife 21 years. We've been married 17 years, and we got 2 kids, a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
You know what I mean? So I want to tell y'all this, right? All of you people out there who are trying to get a level of success, you need to settle down. Not like get out of the streets, settle down, find you a partner that is on your same level, right? That y'all have the same mindset, y'all trying to get the same things, because a partner will push you to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not be who I am today if I didn't have a solid partner who supported me in everything that I did, right? Look at the news right now. And think about all of the powerful black men that are taken down, and ask yourself, how were they taken down, right? We got Diddy in the news right now for everything that's going on. How did he get taken down? You got R. Kelly, you got Bill Cosby, you got all these powerful men who at one time were on top of the world.
Yeah.
It's all related to sex. It's all related to not having the discipline to be with one person. And so I truly believe that is the cheat code. I believe relationship is the cheat code to maximize your full potential. Can you be successful without a relationship? Yes. But I think that if you want to go to your highest height and get to the highest level, then it's time to start settling down. I'm an advocate for it. I'm an advocate for love, especially in the Black community. I believe Black family equals Black wealth. And I believe that if we start focusing on that, that's how we repair our community and start building wealth.
One thing you just said, man, that I like that stuck out to me was you said having the discipline.
Oh, 1,000%.
Be with one woman, man.
Yeah.
I know it gets hard, man, but kind of just, talk about it just a little more, man. Just actually having the discipline, man. That goes a long way, man. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Oh, 1,000%. And you got to think about it, right? Like that's all success is. Success is just discipline.
Yeah.
Right? Success is discipline. Success is doing what you have to do instead of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got to think about it. Like we all, like I'm talking about men out here right now, right? We all men.
Yeah.
Like I'm attracted to women.
Yeah.
And so me being married doesn't automatically negate my me being attracted to women. But at the same time, I have to have discipline.
Yeah.
I have to have discipline enough to respect my wife. I have to have discipline enough to understand that she's the only person that I want. I have to have discipline enough, right? And so even from a success perspective, right? Like there's certain things that I don't feel like going to certain meetings. I don't feel like doing certain things. But at the end of the day, if I want the outcome, I have to be disciplined enough to do that, right? When I think about my health, I went raw vegan for 30 days. I wanted to eat cooked food, right? I didn't want to go raw vegan, but if I wanted to lose weight, I had to do these things. So it's all about the discipline. And so discipline, specifically as we talk about relationships, is really just it's just a decision, right?
Yeah.
It's just making a decision and saying, you know what? And it's not rushing it. I'm not saying, just find a relationship tomorrow. Yeah. There's a process, right? There's a process that you got to go through. But once you find that one, once you find that person that you're vibrating on the same level, then just lock in, right? Lock in.
And I noticed, man, like when you got a special partner or whatever, it's easier to say, nah, I ain't going out. I'm leaving with y'all. Or it's like easier to save money because you don't have to keep impressing new women and things of that nature. A lot of people I look up to these days, man, married, man, whether it's your Nehemiah Davises, your David Shans, your Ash Cashes, your Jay-Z's, your T.I.s, they married, man.
Facts.
So I definitely see where you're coming from, man.
Cheat code. That's the cheat code.
Yeah, man. All right, man, before we get up out of here, man, shed some light on some things that we haven't shed our light on, or promote something that we haven't promoted, or just give us something before we get up out of here.
Yeah,
man.
So the one thing I want to, we talked about abundance being your birthright. I want you to understand that abundance is your birthright. You can be, do, and have anything that you desire, but it starts with the becoming. Right? And what do I mean by that? I mean that before you have whatever you desire, it's time for you to become it. Yeah. Right? And so don't wait until your business is successful in order to be a successful business owner.
Right.
You have to become it right now. When I started at the bank, I was a teller, but I became a manager, right? I in my mind, I envisioned myself as a manager. I envisioned myself as somebody who was in charge. I envisioned myself as somebody who had employees. And as I envisioned that, right, I became first. And as I became, I started to do the things that a manager did. And because I did the things that managers done, eventually I had the things and I became a manager. Same thing. Before I became a millionaire, I became a millionaire, right? So before I had $1 million in assets and money, I became a millionaire. And so what did I have to do? I had to study millionaires. I had to see, who are they, right? And then I started to do the things that millionaires do. Most millionaires wake up really early. So I'm waking up 4 a.m, right? And so I started to do, right? I started to do the things that millionaires did. And then eventually I had millions of dollars. And so be, do, and have. And if you follow that formula, there's nothing that you can't have in this world.
Man, I love it, man. All right, so make sure you guys follow Ash Cash, man. What, I Am Ash Cash?
Yeah, so look, go to my website, IamAshCash.com. All of my information is there, my books, my programs, my podcast, and then you can follow me on all social media platforms at I Am Ash Cash. Make sure you go to Amazon.com right now. Go pick up the book, Brandon McWilliams, The GPS for the Road to Riches, Navigate to Great, on Amazon.com. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm Ash Cash. This is
Nah, man. Give us some of that New York stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
Queens get the money. Go talk
Hey,
your
yo,
shit,
Queens
man.
salute to our camera guy who's from Queens. Queens get the money, but I'm from Harlem. Harlem, home of the hustlers. Make sure you tap in. If you know, you know. St. Nicholas, 129th Street, 8th Avenue. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, it's been another episode of Multiple Streams by Any Means, and guess what, man? Good things go to those that hustle. That was good, man.
Yes, sir.